Welcome back to it. It is now 12:33 and we are in the first hour of the show. Now, I hope that you enjoyed the triple play as much as we did. Kijk, Mariska's feeling some type of way today. She's throwing it all the way back. Oh, my two pop.
Yes.
Children of today don't even know what a tubop is anymore. In
Yeah.
fact, Mariska, do you know what a
Yes.
tubop is?
You know
But
what a 10 bob is, not it?
A 10 cent.
A 10 bob.
Is that a 10 bob? What's a 10 bob? A 1 rand?
Yes. Sure, 10 cents.
Wait, there was never a word like a 10 bob. This
There
Eldos,
is a
guys.
word.
Or
There is a
Eldos.
word,
There's
yeah.
said Eldos cement, so
There's
it's a
certain slang words.
You know,
10
but
bob.
you know what? As promised, we said that we are going to have an interview with the Lighthouse Foundation, and they are currently in studio with us, or rather, he is in studio with us. Although they ask us, I didn't mean to.
Nee, is fijn, is fijn.
Goedemiddag, hoe gaan het?
Goedemiddag jullie en al je luisteraars. Het gaat goed met jullie.
Ach nee, we gaan oké. Kijk, ik wil maar nog bereizen. Ze draaien baar lekker. Het lijkt zoals een serious day today, you know.
Ja.
Like, eish. Nou ben ik voor die werk.
En jullie kunnen goed hier.
Ah, wie zijn kenners?
You are not a child. Yourself to yourself.
You
Yeah.
know what? I'm not gonna.
Maar je is iemand zijn kind, is het niet?
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. So I won't deny that. But yo,
Jy dan van
my mama vertel van my. Jullie ek is aan die kinders.
So, like Nas name says, we have Christopher Cook from the Lighthouse Foundation with us in the studio. Welcome once again, Christopher. It's so good to have you with us on a Monday. I know sometimes Mondays feel like a drag.
Oh ja.
Sometimes people don't feel like they're in the mood for a Monday. But I feel like this is such a cool conversation to have on a Monday. Some lightness on a Monday.
Yes, definitely.
And I think it's so amazing that the Lighthouse Foundation is one of those organizations that support vulnerable women and children. And I would like for you to tell us a little bit more about the work that you do, particularly at the Lighthouse Foundation.
Well, it was founded quite a few years ago, but we only formalized our whole process of registering the company of the organization in 2022.
Okay.
Myself and my wife, and it was born out of the sheer struggles around us. I mean, we walk around Innerdale, Eldos, Mitchell's Plain, any colored township, to a huge extent, some informal settlements as well, black townships, and you see the pain people are going through. You see the misery of poverty and substance abuse and the difficulties a lot of our moms face. And so we said, you know what, let's do something about this. Let's open up our hearts, let's open up our home to many of these ladies. I mean, we've dealt with some of these young kids, 15, and they're thrown into motherhood. And you ask yourself, this is still a child. What does she know about motherhood?
Yeah.
And sad to say, at the time there were not systems in place to help these youngsters, even to our grown-ups as well. The system fails them. And so we took it upon ourselves to really be a voice for them, help wherever we can. Look, we can't do everything, but the little we do makes things better for them. A lot of these women come from backgrounds where, you know, if you think about it, it's not just broken homes, it's fragmented families, it's historical, you know. And so we try to address some of these challenges these moms are facing. I mean, staying in Eldos, a lot of people use public transport. And a lot of these single moms use public transport. By the time they leave home, if they are fortunate enough to have a job, that's at 6 in the morning. Do they see their kids? No. They come back at 6. They come back at 7. So they're hardly there, see how they grow up. You know, and so we try to create a space where they can have a little bit of sanity. Try to make ends meet. Because, I mean, one of the biggest things we face in Innerdale and surrounding areas, I think throughout South Africa, is that a lot of our moms are on the social grant. I mean, you and I know in today's society, in today's economics, the 2,400 rand they get, it lasts them a week. And on top of that, you will find that there is a family member that's on substance abuse that even makes the problem worse, where they take that hard-earned grant from that mom and spend it on the alcohol and drugs.
Yeah.
And it leaves that mother with nowhere to run to. Sometimes they run to the lighthouse. And I think we are in a fortunate space where God has granted us the wisdom and the grace to be there for them. Besides that, we do a lot of reach out at schools in India. The reason why I ended it only now, because of limited resources, we can only focus on India.
Yes.
We try to install some kind of sanity to some of the youngsters that we deal with, besides our moms. Because a lot of these kids, not that they are wayward, it's more a matter of they need a way to express themselves. And they only know how by sometimes frustrations coming in the form of anger bursts or in the way they act. And so we need to create a space for them where they can channel that energy into something more positive.
Mhm. Now you mentioned creating a space for them to channel that energy. Can I ask what specifically do you do when it's because if I come to channel that like the space I get into, what specifically do you to empower them?
Okay, right now, what we do is our programs basically run at school level.
Okay.
That is for the youngsters that is at school. We try to teach them even mentorship programs. So we're actually in the process now of designing a booklet, a 6-week program
Mhm.
to take some of these youngsters through the steps, through the turmoil, through the initial emotions of rejection and frustration, and to channel that energy into a more focused environment. So, starting to work on their mindset because that is where it starts. If their mind can be elevated to a level where they stop seeing themselves as victims, but start tapping into that God-given talent that they their creativity, their ability to make wise decisions. So yes, I always say that when you look at that we've been dealing with, you find the child he goes for a 6-month program, he goes for the 12-month program, and he comes back to the same environment.
Yeah.
Same problems exist in the environment. So yes, he was ring fenced while he was away from the environment. He was protected where he was. So now you're back home. Those criminal elements, those elements that pulled you down,
Yeah.
is there again. So it starts with the mind, where we try to reach them there, switch on that ability that is inside of them, and then work on it. So I'm not saying that we have a magic wand.
Yeah.
It's about walking with it individual.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned the word mindset, and I find that that's the one thing that's really difficult to change when it comes to someone. Because once you've made up your mind, you've made up your mind. But because you are working with children, do you find that they are kind of malleable, or are they still like, I want to change, but at the same time, I'm still held back by the things that I'm used to?
Yes, that is what we've come across quite frequently, where the past plays a pivotal role in the development, and they get caught up in that mindset that if you look at my surroundings, that is not for me.
Yeah.
That's the mindset that they have. That the idea of me going to college, going to varsity is so far fetched that they look at the now and they look at the drug dealer, they look at the one doing this, doing all
Easy way out.
illicit things. They think, easy money,
Yeah.
easy go. And so the idea is that, you know what, the mentorship program is designed in such a way that let's walk with them. Let's not have a one-off session where we speak to them. Because I mean, I've come across a lot of people where they have these motivational talks, and the kids get inspired, and then
It's gone.
the motivational speaker is gone. The child is going back home to face the same problems. So we try to renew their mind, like the Bible says. The Bible talks about renewing the mind. And if you think about it, the Bible says, as a man thinketh in is hard. It's so easy. So if we can get into that space where the mind operates, where they think, their belief system, if we can get that man, the man of the heart,
Mhm.
it's not that easy,
Yeah.
but it's a process. And I think when you start working with these youngsters, even with some of the moms that we deal with, because they face the same problems: unemployment, insecurity, um, domestic violence. The list is so long. I mean, you guys know the stories.
Yeah.
So it's once you can get that mindset right, it doesn't happen overnight, but we need to start something.
Yeah. Now you mentioned the moms also. That kind of sparked that question. Do you? Because I know that in order for something to really have like a great effect, we need to work together as a team,
Yes.
right? Like it doesn't just take one person to make a change. The people that, for instance, I come into the program, and of course, I kind of have to have my backup, my family. Do you find that they're working with you to make the whatever you're doing a success, or are they against, like
To be
just
honest,
pushing against it?
working in Annandale, I can't speak for other areas. We find a lot of resistance.
Yeah.
You speak to people, they tend to shut you down.
Yeah.
They tend to say you don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we all come from that area. I mean, a lot of people look at myself and they say, Chris, it's a nice, it's
Yeah.
a car, you have it.
Mm.
Not knowing that
You
it
work
didn't,
hard.
it didn't come overnight.
Yeah.
I mean, to make an example, the house we're living in currently, I used to work for MTN. Me and my wife, we resigned. We took some of that money and we renovated the house.
Mm.
So there was a story going around in the area. Ja, hulle verkoop drugs. Hoe kan Boesie sulke huise bou? Kyk hoe lyk hy, is jong.
Mm.
So that stigma is part and parcel of our communities where they look at a colored person and they say, nee, jy sal dit nie maak nie.
Yeah.
Of iemand jou ingedruk.
Mm.
So I think, breaking that mindset within the communities, it's not an easy task, because when you start speaking to people about the difficulties how people face, then they have that mindset, yeah, niks gaan verander nie.
Mm.
Things will never change. But I think we need to set the precedent. We need to change that narrative out there that things can get better if we work at it.
Yeah.
Because if we sit back and that's life. And I mean, that has happened to us when we try to speak about drug awareness. People say, my child is not on drugs, so it's not my problem.
Mm.
It will become your problem the day he breaks into your house.
Yeah.
Or the day they break into your car. Then you want to scream and say, yeah, the drugs is a problem.
Mm.
So basically, it's everybody's problem. But there's a solution.
Yeah.
And if we all take hands and work together. And that's why I believe when you get these youngsters, teach them. You show them the value in making the right decision.
Mm.
They will say no to drugs. And it will dry up that appetite for drugs in our youngsters. So when they grow up, they will walk away from it.
Sure. And Chris, we know that organizations like yours do need resources to continue making. You are lucky enough to win. You will get that well-deserved break.
Yes.
Tell us more about the Luxury Weekend Away campaign and what inspired this particular fundraiser.
If I must tell you what inspired you, will laugh. It just randomly came to me in the early hours of the morning. I think it was past 3 in the morning. I just woke up with this idea, and I think it's a God idea, because a lot of the things we do in the Lighthouse, I cannot take any credit for it, first of all. I believe, the Bible talks about that I will give you purpose, I will give you vision. And, as Miles Monroe teaches us, that with vision comes purpose. So I woke up and I just decided, like, I have this thing. I'm like, will this fly? I can just want some answer. But people in general, they don't want to give something for nothing. And then I realized, okay, yes, we can. I mean, we were sponsored with the weekend away at Glenburn Lodge. I mean, if you guys out there know where Glenburn Lodge is, if you've been there, it's an amazing place in the Mahalis Mountains. It's beautiful. There's amazing sunsets. Yeah, I don't have to tell you anything. But the whole idea was last year we hosted like 70 ladies from Enadale. So a lot of them were from, I won't say broken homes, I would say fragmented homes, because when you look at them themselves, they are keeping things together.
Yeah.
So we hosted these ladies, we pampered them, we had them share with one another. They were building bridges, because you sit there in your house and you think, oh, life is tough. Not knowing that there are many countless moms that face the same struggles every single day. So the idea was, let's give people a break. Let them go and put up their feet, forget about what goes on at home. Get away. So the idea is also to raise funds for a lot of these ladies.
Yeah.
Because after they start opening up, we realized, oh, people are going through a lot. I mean, I was in tears after listening to some of those stories. It's like, ek chunk ho. I'm a guy that cries easily because I empathize. I have that compassion on them.
Yeah.
And listening to them, I realized, we need to do something. Because there's no rest for them. They work 24/7. They work 7 days a week. Moms don't get annual leave. And a lot of these ladies, they wake up in the morning. Even before the sun comes out, they're busy, they're packing the lunch, keeping the family together. So he said, let's raise these funds for them, because a lot of them, they're on the SASA grant. A lot of them are unemployed. They don't even qualify for the SASA grant. And they struggle. I mean, we do what we can for them, and we realize, let's just do this fundraiser for them to help them and make things a little bit better for them, because a lot of them go through so much, and it's tough out there in this day and age. And it's not just Enadale. I mean, you go to Mitchell Spring, even here in Eldos, you go to Kailicha, you go to Sebukeng, wherever you go, you find these mothers who are working their fingers to the bone, trying to keep the home together. I'm not saying guys are not doing it. I mean, I know quite a few guys, single dads, that's doing the very same. But they're like 5% of our communities. And I mean, we had a visit at one of the SASA offices a few weeks ago, and 90% of the recipients there were females between 16 and 25. You ask yourself, there's something systemically wrong with society. So yes, we raise the funds to support them, but also we have a farming project at one of the schools in India where we try to say, this cannot sustain you for life. Come, let's teach you how to farm. So then you start growing your own vegetables. Start using your hands. And it's not only open for women, it's open for everybody. So the idea is partnered with the school to help the students and those parents of those students that are unemployed, to give them a chance in life. Because not everybody has that 20 rand or 30 rand, says, please go buy a packet of potatoes and let's make chips. So if you can grow your own, you can imagine the possibilities.
Absolutely. And the tickets for this?
The tickets is 100 rand. So the ticket becomes transformational. So let's not look at that 100 rand as, I'm paying for something. Let's look at it, I'm sowing a seed. I'm sowing a seed of hope into the foundation, but also into that life of that mom, of that child who needs it desperately. So the 100 rand is a seed that you sow into the foundation so that we can support these moms, these kids that face tremendous odds at the end of the day, and still they rise, still they show up. But I mean, you can win this one this weekend. It's an amazing weekend. It's valued at 8,000 rand. So sign up. The details is on there.
There is a flyer.
There's a flyer going
We'll
around.
share it
So,
also on our WhatsApp status.
I mean, if you can only win it if you are in it.
Ooh, I like
So
that
please,
so much.
please enter so that you can change your life, but also stand a chance to win a well-deserved break for yourself.
also want to know, why was it so important for this initiative to be accessible to so many people?
The idea is that the more people come on board to support the initiative, the more we will be able to support families. The idea was to initially support 300 families for about 6 months. And if you put that in, if you must put a value to that, you're looking at something like 600,000 rand. So if
Sure.
not more, that's a rough estimate. And I mean, it's small in comparison to what a lot of them are facing. But we realized, let's do something, let's start somewhere, not just sit back and say, oh, niemand doen niks nie. Mense sukkel, maar let's do something about it. And that's why we launched this initiative. Among many others that we have, like I said, at the schools, we try to teach them how to plant. So the whole idea is that raise the money to support these families, raise the money to support these moms, because wherever you go around this country, you see them walking kids to school, making a meal with something insignificant, and yet at the end of the day, someone is eating.
Sure. So
600,000
yeah.
for 6 months.
Yeah.
That's 100,000 a month, and that's
Yeah.
only 30 families.
300 families.
Look,
300
the idea
families,
is to
sorry.
support 300 families for 6 months.
Yeah.
But I mean, the 300 families in comparison to the masses, it's small. But I think, the idea is, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah.
So the whole idea is, let's start the initiative now. As time goes on, we build upon it until we can get to that level where you say, now we have 1,000 families that we look after. And 1,000 families, if you look at the broader scheme, each family has between 5 to 8 family members. So it's not just 1,000 people that you're supporting, it's 8,000 individuals, children that goes to school. And I mean, some of the schools are closing right now.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the schools we operate in, their feeding schemes. Right now, the child comes to school, he gets a meal in the morning, he gets a meal in the afternoon. 95% of them, that's their last meal until they come back to school tomorrow. And now with schools closing, there's nowhere else that they can go. And so they come and knock on our door and says, hey, can I have something to eat, please? Either, whether it be a slice of bread or a small plate of food, but something. And so the idea is that, we need to support them. And yes, there are many others in Annandale, in all those surrounding areas that they have those soup kitchens and those feeding schemes, and they are doing an amazing job to support those that need it. And so we're just doing our little bit to help those.
Sure. Like, as someone who is from Annandale, and I don't necessarily walk in the streets because the streets can't call me like that. But like, when I do, and I always see these young kids with their children on their hips, and I'm always like, because my heart always goes out to them, and you're like, how do I help you as an individual? Because how do you get 600,000 any handle means at the food? So I really like this initiative. Really, like, I guess it's something. Sure. I'm sorry, it's making me emotional. So it's beautiful to see what it is you're doing, and to that one individual that is currently listening and is like, yeah, but ek sukkel ook, hoekom sal ek my geld vir hulle wil gee? What is there like a message you would love to say to that person? Just like,
Yes, I know there are many who probably sits there and says, I don't know them. Why should I part with 100 rand?
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, it's a seed that you are sowing.
Yeah.
And if we understand the term seed, it is something that will grow, something that will blossom into something that you never recognized in the beginning. The Bible talks about that in it is their seed. So it's a biblical principle that when you sow something, you will reap a harvest. And I think many times we have been taught incorrectly that if you sow something, you will reap money. No, it's not about that. I think at the end of the day, for those out there listening, the seed that you are sowing, it is to make a difference in the life of a child, of a mother, and your seed becomes transformational because your seed will become school shoes.
Mm.
Your seed will become a plate of food, a meal that will last for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
That seed will keep on growing, it will keep on giving. And the idea is that everybody faces something in life. Doesn't matter where you are in life.
Mm.
And we all need a shoulder to lean on or a shoulder to cry on. Like our slogan says, be the light in someone's darkness. At the end of the day, whether you are poor, whether you are rich, we are all. Someone looks at your life and says, I want Mariska's life.
Mm.
She's got it all together. Not knowing that, yay,
It's falling apart. Yeah,
Yeah.
ek sukkel aan die kant.
Mm.
I'm trying, I'm keeping the pieces together. So the idea is that, you know what, it is not for me to make a judgment call. Says, hier nodig het nie.
Yeah.
We all need it.
Absolutely. And Chris, before we let you go, if someone maybe wants to support the Lighthouse Foundation or they want more information, how can they get a hold of you or the Lighthouse Foundation?
Okay, we have a WhatsApp line, which is 071 745 6341. We also have a Facebook page that you can look us up, as well as Instagram and on TikTok. We also have a YouTube channel where we speak to sometimes people that is clean now, and so for them to tell their story, so that showing people, you know what, there is hope. So yes, we would love to hear from you guys, whether it be just to keep in touch or to reach out, because at the end of the day, we all need someone to lean on.
Absolutely. I love the slogan, be the light in someone's darkness.
Sure. I had a few more questions, but I know that we kind of have news to do right now, so we're just gonna park it there for like a while and then do our news. Maybe we can ask you one or two more questions after that.
Yeah,
Or you
sure.
done speaking to us, Chris?
No, I can go on. I mean, I have much more to say. Depends on you guys and your schedule.
Right. Am I doing news?